hours behind you, so it's 8 a.m. here. So I'm awake bright and early to get to chat with all of you. So before we start, I'd ask that everyone please keep their microphones off on mute, please. I think everybody is on mute. Sija, I think your microphone is on, so if you don't mind hitting mute, I'd appreciate it. And then we can get started. And if ever you have any questions during the session, feel free to raise your hand and I will be happy to answer them. All right. So yes, we're going to talk about Fredericton's Francophone Community Resources, organizations, all that kind of thing. They have great resources, great organizations that are there to help you and that are great opportunities for you to take advantage of. So, like I said, my name is Jessica. I am a Francophone Community Liaison at the Multicultural Association of Fredericton. So yes, so there are multiple community organizations in Fredericton's Francophone community. Today we're going to explore a number of these organizations, discovering what they do and what programs might be of interest to you and your family. So first off, I'll say the majority of these resources and organizations revolve around the Centre Communautaire Singtan, the Singtan Community Center. And I'll get to that in a little bit. I'm actually going to take you directly to their site to show you how to navigate it and how to find the best resources there, because it's really the hub for all of the Francophone resources in Fredericton. But I wanted to take a quick second to highlight two of the resources that I think are really worthwhile that you really should check out for certain. And the first one is the library, of course. So within the Singtan Community Center, there is the Bibliothèque Dr. Margaret Michaud. So it's been there since 1978. And it is a public library, so it serves the general public, as well as the school students. So there are two schools attached to that same building, and so the students go there. There are more than 40,000 documents in French, books, DVDs, compact disc magazines, newspapers, all sorts of things for you to check out. They also have board games that you can borrow to take home, musical instruments you can borrow to take home. So if you want to rent out a guitar or something like that, you can do that there. They also have puzzles that you can take home. And then also for children's birthdays and holidays, they actually have cute little craft kits that you can take home and do with your children for free. All of these services are free. And for any information, you can feel free to call them, or you can also find them on Facebook. So if you look them up on Facebook, you can find them there, and they update about any kind of activities that they're doing. So that's a great resource to take advantage of. When you go to the Singtan Community Center, you just go down the stairs and straight to your right, and it's the first door right there. It's a nice big library, and they've got plenty of resources there. The second resource I will strongly encourage you to look into is KODAK NB. Its mission is to establish through strategic partnerships the conditions that allow Acadian and Francophone adults with low literacy skills to acquire the skills to achieve their personal, family, and professional goals. That's their quick description, but they do a lot more than just that. They do a lot of family programming in French, and it's very inclusive, very easy for Anglophone parents or for parents who don't speak French to join in. And they're very accommodating, and they're very helpful with learning the language and all that kind of stuff. And they even partner with me on Saturday. We do a program, Family French Time, and we work together on that. They also, if you register with them, they also give you a free kit. So they bring you free French children's books for your family, as well as a francisation kit. So they'll bring you like flashcards with French words on them and such, and just different tools to work on your French schools at home with your family. So here's their website, and I'm actually going to take you real quick to check out their website. If you're not using this tool already, I strongly suggest it because a lot of the resources in the Francophone community, of course, their website is in French. So Google offers this on most web pages where you can translate to English. It's not always 100%, of course. It's like Google Translate. We know it's not always perfect, but at least it gives you the general idea. So here's KODAK NB's website. You can register for activities. So you see they have one coming up, a musical activity in French for families. So yes, KODAK NB. So they do a lot of different activities for families. You can see on their website here, they have another one coming up for Easter. I think that's happening this weekend. It just passed, so it's too late for that one. But it gives you a general idea of different things they do. And I'll show you really quick just the photos. They do really wonderful French family activities. So of course, doing some for Halloween. They do a lot of family cooking activities. And these are activities that are all done in French. So you're going with your family and they're speaking French, but they're very accommodating. Like I said, they will help teach you French by, doing things with you. So it's a really good way to put yourself in the Francophone community and learn by immersing yourself. They do a lot of story times. Really, everything they do is very much focused on literacy. So it's about learning to read, learning to speak in French and feel comfortable in French. So that's really quick about KODAK NB. We'll take us back to our presentation. And of course, the main place for all Francophone resources is the Singtan Community Center. So this, if you haven't been yet, I strongly suggest that you go and check it out. It is really the main space in Fredericton for all Francophone community resources. So it offers under one roof a range of services in French for the community. It has 2 schools attached to it. So École Singtan, which is a middle and high school going from 6th grade to 12th grade. And then they also have École de Bâtisseur, which is an elementary school for kindergarten to 5th grade. Yes, sorry, I had to think for a second. They also have 2 different daycares attached to the center. They have the library. They have a cafe, very good coffee, if ever you even want to just go get a coffee and be able to look around the building and get to know the Francophone resources there. That's a great idea. The cafe is very nice and everyone is always very friendly and welcoming. There is a youth center that does really wonderful programs for youth and children. There's a performance hall. They have a lot of shows, musical shows, theater, plays, that kind of thing. There's an art gallery, so you can go look at some art. It's very nice. There are meeting rooms that you can rent. So a lot of times companies or businesses will rent out meeting rooms or even for celebrations or anything like that. There's a community radio station that is run out of there as well, so a French radio station. And a series of cultural, artistic, and community activities that are all run out of there as well. So about 20 organizations revolve around the center. So are either within the center or host their meetings and such at the center, including a choir. So if you or your children really like singing and you want to get into a choir, there are choirs that are based out of the center. Community theater troops, the Girl Guides of Canada, Army Cadets, Knights of Columbus, different organizations for the elderly as well, and just really all sorts of stuff. So instead of just telling you about it, I'm going to show you as well how to navigate their website, because it is really the main space for everything. If you can get to know this website and feel comfortable with it, you will be informed about all Francophone activities, all Francophone resources. So, like I said, might as well use this nice little handy tool and translate everything to English. Like I said, it is not 100% because it's Google Translate, but it is better than nothing. It is very helpful. So this is the website, singtan.nd.ca. And here it is. So experience community. So here, if you scroll down, you get to find out about some programming, some things happening in the center. So here you know about an art exhibit that they're having, a fundraiser they're having, trying to collect food for food banks, and a little bit more about the art exhibit. We've got news, so they're informing about a scholarship fund that they're doing, portrait of the month. This is every single month they do an article about someone of interest in the Francophone community. The info link is here. So that is a kind of like a newspaper magazine that they put out every single month, giving a full description of all of the activities happening, things of interest, any programming, anything like that is in the March info link. So that's really handy to get as well. And yeah, so there's all sorts of stuff. There's about their room rentals, all of that. The other thing, of course, that's really useful to look at is the organizations. So if you're looking for something a little bit more specific, if you want to know a list of all of the resources in French, this is where you're going to go. This is the full list of everyone. So you go on the Singtan Community Center website and you go organizations. That is where you will find the full list of everybody that is a resource in French. So here, click plus, and you see this one is a resource for seniors, for the elderly. So you will see this is something for supporting seniors. Here you see this is Francophone Sports Association for adults. So if you yourself would like to get involved in sports with other adults in French, this is a great resource for that. A great way to develop your French is by socializing, right? So might as well join a sports club for yourself. Like I said, they have a choir. So here is about the choir that they have. If you love singing, if your children love singing, whatever. And then here is the radio station. So another great way to develop your French, of course, to listen to French music, listen to the French radio. So if you haven't already tuned into them, this is their radio station, 90.5 FM. And they do a really good mix of French and English music. They even have, I think, a Latin night where they do Spanish music, and it's really good. And they are based, like I said, out of the Singtan Community Center. So listening to French music can also help your French development skills. Another troupe that could be of interest to your children is the Rhythmica troupe. So this is for gymnastics, rhythmic gymnastics, and it's all done in French as well. And then even if you have children in the Francophone schools and you're interested in being more involved in their schooling, you might consider being on the parents' committees. So a parent committee is when a group of parents for children in a certain school will get together and plan different things, events for the school, fundraisers for the children, all that kind of stuff. So if you are a parent of children at École de Bâtisseur, here is their contact information, and you can always get involved with the parents committee and become more involved in your children's schooling in that way. There's one for École Les Éclaireurs as well. And then I think there is one for École Singtan somewhere as well. Then there is, of course, Petit Monde de Franco, which is a Francophone daycare that is based out of there as well. And they also do really good summer camps. So if you're thinking of doing, of getting your child more involved in the summer, it is so hard to hold on to all of that progress that they've done during the year, learning the French and everything. And then in the summer, when they're home, perhaps they're speaking the language that you speak at home and English in the community. So it is so good to get them into the French summer camps to help them hold on to their French. So Petit Monde de Franco does French summer camps, and so does Lacado and L'Envolée. So that's 3 daycares that do French summer camps in the summer. And if you want to know more about that, feel free to contact me directly and I will help connect you with all of those places for summer camps. And here, of course, is KODAK and B I was telling you about. So this, again, I will say is a great tool to use to work on your French. It's Marie-Hélène Michaud that runs it. She's really wonderful and she's really helpful for developing your French skills. There is the Army cadets that meet at the Singtan Community Center, and it's all done in French as well, if that's something that interests your children. There's a theater group if you're interested in acting or in going to see some shows that's of interest. Girl guides and the scouts are there too, if your children are interested in that kind of thing. So really, there's a lot of different resources. There's a lot of things happening at the Singtan Community Center, a lot to discover and explore, a lot of different ways to integrate yourself into the Francophone community and learn more about them. And then, of course, here's the library I told you about, a great place to get some tools and some resources. The cafe, and they also have a health center. So they have family doctor, they have nutritionists there. They're French speaking there, but they are also very accommodating to people who speak different languages. So you shouldn't have any trouble going there for help. And of course, if you didn't know it, the Mosaic Center is there, which is part of the Multicultural Association of Fredericton. So just in the basement, there's the Mosaic Center, and that is where usually in non-COVID times, we run activities for the children and youth out of that center for the school. They haven't updated their information yet. It's not David that's there anymore, it's Yannick. Like I told you about the radio station. Yes, I think that's, oh, and then the Youth Center Lacado. They are another really good resource. They have a daycare for children from kindergarten to 12 years old. They also do the summer camps. And yes, they are a very good resource. They have been partnering with MCAF for years. So they're very familiar with working with newcomer families. They've been doing it for years alongside with us. They do youth programs as well. So if you have teenagers, they have a lot of youth programs that could be of interest to them that they would like. So yes, I think that is about it for the resources. If you have any questions, feel free to raise your hand. I'm happy to answer. And then if you want to click programming at the top, that is where you're always going to get to see all of the different activities happening at the center, special events. So like I said about the art exhibit, the fundraiser they're doing, and then also they have all sorts of other resources, recreational activities. So on a weekly basis, they do exercises. So if you're interested in joining a class, a Zumba class, a yoga class, anything like that, they have all that here. Here you can also find the activities happening at the library. So you can go and check that out. And the youth center is there as well with all of their activities, as well as the senior center for older people. And so here is just a full view of everything happening by day. So just all the calendar, everything happening. And they keep it updated. They keep it pretty updated. So you'll always get a full view of everything going on. So I hope that's helpful. Like I said, if you can learn to navigate this website and be comfortable with it and get to know it, then you will always be very well informed on exactly what's happening in the Francophone community and what resources you can use to help you in your integration into the Francophone community. And they're very welcoming. If you go there, introduce yourself, they will be happy to receive you. They actually do have a staff person that is responsible for working with newcomers. Her name is Maida, and she is very helpful as well, and she would be very happy to meet you, I'm sure. So other than that, I'll speak really quick about the programs that MCAF offers to help with Francophone integration and Francophone French learning. So the first is the French tutoring program. So if you have children ages 7 to 19 who are in the French schools who need help with their French homework or anything really, then you should definitely look at the French tutoring program. They do one-on-one or group learning. So working on French, on pronunciation, on homework, all that kind of stuff. It's very helpful. It is done by my colleague Merve. And then the other program is a program that actually we were only supposed to do for March, but it's going so well that we continued it. So the dates here are no longer right. I need to make a new poster because we decided to extend the program because it's going so well. So it's continuing into April, and that's the Family French Time. So we meet every Saturday morning on Zoom, and we do reading of French books. We do some games, activities together, and we do it in partnership with KODAK and B. So we get to spend some time every Saturday morning in French, and everyone seems to really be enjoying it, and it's going really well. So if you're interested in that, feel free to contact me directly, and I would be happy to register you and your family for that. And that's it. Merci beaucoup. Is there any questions? You can either ask them here or you can email me directly.